Hi everyone, it's Carrie, aka Nerdy Girl Crates, and welcome to my channel. It's a live stream, and joining me today is my fellow manga tuber, Hartless Weeb. How are you doing today, Nick?
Doing all right. How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing great, and today you and I are going to talk about one of our favorite manga series, and that is Chainsaw Man.
What's that?
Chainsaw Man. Right. And we have caught up. I have caught up on the app, and you've been caught up for a couple
Months
months
now,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah, and it is a great series. I mean, it's like one of a kind right now out there with the shonen mangas. And for those who don't know, Chainsaw Man is kind of a dark comedy fantasy horror about a guy named Denji who's kind of like in a really bad situation in his life, and he befriends a fiend who's pretty much a kind of like a dog chainsaw demon. He's pretty much the Grogu now of manga.
Pochita. Sorry,
Pochita.
he's so
That's
cute.
okay.
This is so
He
hard to
is.
find.
Yeah, I know. He is adorable, and they become really good friends. But then when he finds out Denji is dying, he makes a contract with him and becomes Denji's heart, and they get into a whole slew of things. I kind of like to think of this story, Nick, as like a twisted retelling of A Boy and His Dog. What do you think?
I could see it like that. It's very close bonds and everything, how they actually meld together. It's very cute.
Yeah, and this manga, it's Denji is different from most protagonists because he's kind of like his goals are down here compared to other people.
He's a typical like teenage boy.
Yeah.
Hormones just thrive everything.
Yeah, his goals are good food, getting laid, and doing some basic stuff. And when the division of safety, I think that's what it's called again, comes and recruits him, that's all he wants is a place to live, food, girls. He doesn't aim high.
Literally, his goal is to be kissed and touch boobs. That's all he wants.
Exactly. It's all he is. And he gets teamed up with a bunch of people that you would think he would get annoyed by them, but he just kind of like is there because he just wants what he wants. And they like Aki. He's Mr. Serious, and he gets stuck babysitting Denji.
Yeah. He's a nice guy though.
He's a nice guy, and he ends up getting Denji stuck in his house. Now, Denji becomes, because of his contract with Pochita, becomes this chainsaw man, and he's used to hunt down these other fiends that are threatening humans, and his powers are really cool.
Well, if you remember, because I did a reread in a book club that we're in on Discord, I forgot all about the first time he does it when the chainsaws pop out. It hurts him like Wolverine. I forgot about that.
Yes. It's kind of like with the adamantium claws. It's like it hurts him, and but it's so cool to look at.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see this animated in the anime.
Well, we got like another like 2 or 3 weeks, something like that, soon.
I thought it was fall, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. It could have. Someone told me it was in a couple weeks, but I thought it was a couple months out. Like,
yeah, that's what I thought. Like fall, but I already seen the like teaser, and it does look great.
It looks awesome.
I think Mappa, the same people who did Jujutsu Kaisen, is doing it, and it just I can't wait to see hear the voice cast, see what they do with the arcs. It's amazing. Do you have a favorite character in Chainsaw Man?
Tough. Like,
yes.
I probably want to say Power. I love her.
Yeah, Power is great. I do like her attitude, but I do have to also say I do kind of like Pochita.
I love
He's so
Pochita.
cute. He's so cute, and his relationship with Denji is just adorable.
Sorry. Meowie's also really cute too. Like that's the whole point of Power is her little cat Meowie she loves.
Yeah, and I just love how Power kind of shifts the blame on everybody else when something bad happens. Like that poor girl who's a nervous wreck. I forgot her name.
Oh shit. Forget off the top of my I want to say Kenobi. That's not Kenobi, is it? Yeah, it's Kenobi.
Kenobi. Okay. You'd think I'd remember that as a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I read it so long ago, like I forget all the characters' names. That's why I don't do reviews a lot. But like the funniest part is when she's like 10 more hamburgers, and she's like,
So King KDI asks, so his hands change, but it hurts him. What are the character's likes, dislikes, and flaws? Well, Yeah, it does hurt him.
He's got
He likes girls. He likes food. He comes from like a very poor situation. Like his dad died and left him with a debt to a yakuza.
like when he had to sell a testicle and he was thinking about selling other bodies. It's not for children. Like everyone,
It's not.
it's cute and fun, but it is adult. It's not super edgy, but there's sexual like content in it, and he's poor as shit. Like he wants to survive.
Yeah, and I would say his flaws would be more like he has a lack of communication skills. He's been
Yeah.
kind of isolated. The only people he's interacted with is his dad, Pochita, and these yakuza. And he kind of takes on like a dog mentality, especially when it comes to Makima. Is that how you say it? Makima?
Maki, well, Makima,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And he kind of like simps for her. Whatever she wants, he does. So he doesn't question anything when it comes to her, any hot girl.
Well, the
Though
memes with sorry,
go
the
ahead.
meme with Makima is Wolf, because she has all those huskies and she's a dog person.
Yeah, she loves dogs, which you find out later on in the by the way, there'll be some spoilers. We're going to get into spoiler territory. But what can I say? Like Denji is just the scenes with him just like massacring all these like for example the yakuza when they
With the
find out.
zombies.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
zombies, which was just totally badass. Like the art in this is just totally badass in my opinion. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's beautiful. Like you can't see it because it's swapped around, but like I have a little light up. I got some ninja rods. I got 1 through 9. I was trying to find 10 early, but all the Barnes and Nobles that had them were sold out. It
Yeah,
doesn't come
no,
out for another week, but yeah.
I've been trying to get a hold of some of the figures too, and it's been like either you want to lay out alone or you wait until it's available again.
Well, I pre-ordered mine, like, because I remember they were popping up in Japan for pre-order. My buddy has a
Okay.
Diamond account, so I was like,
Okay.
all right, let me order them through you, and people start getting them in from Japan. But like I told everybody, I'm like, order them now, because once the cartoon show comes out, like the stupid Nenda rods are going to be like $200-300 because they go up in price, but they're just cool little things, you know.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get a hold of them now because, like you said, the anime
Yeah.
comes out, it's going to be like, oh. And I remember like trying to get a hold of the physicals because, like you, I was originally just reading it on the Shonen Jump app, but
Well,
for a while there, I couldn't get most of the physical copies.
funny part is actually I saw it when it came out. I'm like, this sounds stupid fun. Like I like weird, goofy fun things. And I was like, dude, with chainsaw for hands, this seems stupid. Let me check it out. And I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing I read.
Yeah.
And I just started picking it up every time they came out. And everyone's like, oh, I'm missing volumes 2 or 3. I'm like, weren't you buying it when it came out? They're like, no. But I did jump on Shonen Jump app to get caught up because I wanted to read it, but I was waiting, trade waiting for it. And I'm like, I'm just gonna read it all at once. It's the
Yeah,
best $1.99 you can spend. Like if you want to get into
exactly.
manga, Shonen Jump app.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out the Shonen Jump app, I highly recommend it because you're going to get the chapters every week unless they take a hiatus. Like they're
Now,
doing
have you
that to me
read?
with One Piece.
Have you tried the Dan Dan Dan?
No, I've
So
heard
it's
about that.
better than Chainsaw Man. It's crazy.
Oh, okay. Okay. But
Sorry to get
yep.
sidetracked.
That's okay. I do too. Now King KDI says lack of communication skills like most males 16 plus.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and also I think of the isolation and the lack of like knowing what people are doing kind of plays into it. He's kind of like the little things entertain him.
He's a shut-in. He's almost like a NEET where he's just very socially inept because he didn't deal with a lot of people. He didn't go to school. He was too busy because later on you find out that he is not developmentally challenged. It's just he doesn't know how to read and write or do math. He
Right.
was sheltered his whole life trying to pay off his bills for his dad.
Yeah, and it's kind of like there's this tragic backstory, but for somebody who's been through something that horrible, he kind of just like takes life
He's
as
pretty
it is.
chipper.
He's pretty chipper. I'd be like miserable in therapy.
I would be depressed, very depressed.
Yeah, but he has what I would never wish on other people, a horrible situation he comes from. But he's more than happy now that he has these friends, even if power drives him nuts. He's happy to have power. Yeah, he's happy to have power. Now, power we were talking about a little bit before, but she is just crazy.
She's the shit devil. She is like just insane. Like she's sweet and cute, but she like the people they're like, I'm never wrong. You're wrong. They'll change the story. That's who she is.
And she'll just take things and claim it as her own, like the car.
Oh, that was the best when they I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, that was so cool.
when
Do you
she
know how to
took the
drive?
car.
No. Yeah.
She is, yeah, and I think she's, like, forced into a contract with the, division from Makima.
Yeah, it didn't go 100% into how she got the contract, but basically she's one of the few devils. People don't realize, like, they have power systems and everything. Well, the evil people in it, they're called devils. People can make contracts and they get hunted down, basically, is what it is.
Right, and that is another interesting thing in the story because the people who hunt the devils actually have the contracts with devils in
Hmm.
order to take them down. And Aki himself has like a deal with what was it again?
The
The
wolf.
the wolf and the fox demon.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
And he's got that sword.
But that's the other part is there's a little part of your body gets eaten away every single time you want to use the powers.
Right, and then there was that other girl that was friends with Aki who had an eye
The eye
missing.
patch, yeah. What was her
Yeah.
name? I'll tell you in 1 second. Yeah, I'm horrible with names.
I
Angel
know, me
Double
too.
Beam, Violence Fiend. Oh, these are extras. Denji Power. I don't know off the top of my head, but I forget her name. Yeah, she comes up when they go out for the party to celebrate Denji becoming with the safety officers.
Yeah, and she's also very warm and friendly with Denji.
Yeah. Do you want to get into that or no?
Yeah, you can get into that.
All right. So they were out, eating and drinking like they normally do. Like when you're in Japan, it's basically forced to go out with your coworkers, eat, drink, and be merry. She gets drunk. Denji's also what, 14, 15? I forget his
Yeah,
exact age. But
he's in that
Denji's like,
range.
well, I can't drink. But she's like, hey, I'll make out with you. And he's like, oh, I don't know. She ends up getting him slightly drunk and brings him home with her. And Makima stops him and she goes, do you really want to be going with her? No, that was after, wasn't it? I'm getting it mixed up.
Yeah.
That was after. So, anyways, she takes him home and tries to sleep with them. And he's like, no, this isn't okay. They start making it. Oh, no, I messed. She pukes in his mouth. They were making
Yeah.
out. He's like, this is his first kiss. And he's so excited. He's like, yeah. He's like, she puked in my mouth and freaked out. So it's got little gags in it.
Yeah, and that becomes a running joke later on. Like he's kind of traumatized by
Yeah, he
that.
is.
But what was the other thing I was going to bring up? Then there's the old man who gets assigned to train him in power. And
Yep. And
let's
he's
put
a
it this
raging
way.
alcoholic.
He's a raging alcoholic, and he is the one mentor you don't want because he's literally tells them that he's going to kill them. And in order to survive, they have to kill him first.
And when he
And it's
means
like,
it.
yeah, he means it, and it doesn't matter what time of day or anything. And the things Power and Denji come up with to try to take him out is another hilarious moment in that.
And yeah, it's like, and we didn't get into it. Sorry, something's on my screen.
That's okay.
They're basically the reason why the safety, what's it called? The safety
Division.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah,
horrible with
something.
names.
I know.
It's because of the Gun Devil that happened
Yeah.
a couple years previous, where the Gun Devil, I think it was like what 990 seconds or something like that, basically sweep through the world, killing a bunch of people, and people found out about the devils that were in the world that they live
Right.
in.
And Aki's got a personal reason for hunting down the Gun Devil.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, if you find out exactly how the Gun Devil's able to do this, which is also really interesting.
Yep. And the little pieces that like
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like Team 1000, like you put little more and more pieces together, it builds up more of the Gun Devil.
Yeah, and you also get the sense a lot of people don't trust another certain character within the division.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of secret meetings and...
Sorry about that. I thought I
That's
shut
okay.
everything off of my phone. Sorry about that.
That's okay. There's a lot of secret meetings, and it seems like other countries are aware of this person, and they don't want to, deal with that person. They want to take this person out. And that's, that gets near the end of the...
I just don't want to spoil things, but yeah.
I know. It's so hard to do this without trying to spoil anything.
And there's so many cool different devils, or another cool character that comes on later, like we're talking about the car where people are starting to hunt down Denji. They find out he's Chainsaw Man. Everyone's like, holy shit, who is this guy? Like, he's pretty popular on TV. So they send a bunch of assassins to Japan to go after him. But Santa Claus was cool as hell in this.
Yes, Santa Claus was very cool as hell. There's like, and I love how you have like all this representation from different countries coming in to hunt down Denji. And Denji's just kind of like there with bodyguards, and you're kind of laughing because he's probably more powerful than most of these bodyguards.
He's a lovable idiot.
Yeah.
He is. He's just like, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, it's like, can we just go out and get a burger? And that was another part, like, he tells Pochito all his
Hopes and
wishes.
dreams, yeah.
Yeah, and later on, when they're in an even worse situation, he tries to fulfill those for them, and that's another funny scene. And it
Mhm.
involves, again, that poor neurotic girl.
Yeah, Kenobi, where she's are you talking about when they're at, like, the McDonald's or
Oh, yeah, where she's, like, serving him the burger.
And he,
Yeah.
like, literally cuts the dude in, like, the, like, McGrimace, Mary McCheese costume, he just cuts him in half, and he's like, "I want 10 cheeseburgers and 10 more," and she keeps on messing up the order. So
Yeah,
good.
she keeps falling, and they keep yelling at her, "We're gonna die, stop falling." Then he takes her out dancing.
Yep, with the
I think it
Dance
was like
Dance
the
Revolution, yeah.
yeah, Dance Dance Revolution. So King Katie, I asked, so there's intrigue, but is it that leading into espionage for international other groups?
Not real they're gonna do another series, and they did a light novel. There's more
Okay.
coming, but it doesn't really get into it, just says people are hunting him down because he's too strong. That's all it
Yeah.
really said.
And then there's a reason also the devils fear him.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big reason, again, don't want to spoil that.
He
But
does level up, though, and he becomes more badass, like
does it lean into espionage for international other groups? I don't know what the next series is going to be about. I was going to ask if they were going to do you think they're going to continue?
he said he's gonna do more. They did a light novel, but we don't know if it's gonna be a time jump or not because this is a cool throwback too. This is in the 90s. So this could
Right.
be when Denji's older. No one's sure
Mhm.
what's going on right now.
Okay. I hope so cuz the way they left it off, it could continue on.
Yeah, and it wrapped
Especially
it up pretty nicely where you can still get the rest of like just everything in his life and it doesn't really ruin it, but a lot of characters die. Spoilers. People die.
yeah. People die. Yeah, there's a nice balance between comedy and like a lot of dark elements because you are dealing with devils and fiends and but like Denji just kind of like walks into all these situations like, "Okay, I'm here to do my job."
Well, one of my other favorite characters is Beam, the shark. He's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he worships
Denji,
the
they're
devil.
like buddies.
Yeah.
Or when he's
He's like,
riding through them, like through the skyscrapers where he just wraps his chains around him and he's just breaking through windows and stuff. That was cool.
"Oh yeah, that was awesome." And I just love how what does he call him? He goes Lord Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Lord Chainsaw. Yeah, and I love how he comes up from the floors. Like he kind of like
Yeah, it's almost like liquid, just where he just comes up. So cool.
yeah, and he's got a really cool design. Who was the other one I wanted to talk about that was with the devils? There's that
Uh
really
Rez is the other one,
mm,
the Bomb Devil.
yeah,
She's cool. I
she's
thought he
very
was gonna
cool.
hook up with her and they're gonna be happy, and I was like, "What the hell is this plot twist?" That
I
drove
know.
me into it more. I'm like, "Holy shit, this is cool."
Yeah, there's some great writing in this. I love when you think you know what's going to happen and then you think you know who you can trust and then everything just kind of goes in a completely different direction. Um there was also the one he fights the first time. What's the sword or the knife devil?
Oh, the dude that looks like a Nazi soldier almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I was like, "What is this?" I thought that was the Gun Devil because when I was slowly reading it manga by manga, and it was like, "Oh no, okay, this is cool." And the guy goes in a whole backstory about how his, grandfather was yakuza, this and that, and Denji's like, "No, I'm just gonna kill you."
Yeah, it's like I don't care. I'm just here to kill you so I can go home and have food.
Yeah, it was comic relief though, like because it went in depth about like the yakuza, how they're good, but they're not bad people, and Denji's like, "No, just shut up, we're done."
Yeah, it's like don't care. Which is great about Denji. He's not like he doesn't care about backstories or anything. He just wants to.
It's kind of like Goku almost,
Yeah,
the
it is.
typical idiot shonen. Like now, the other question is because it was getting darker and darker. I think they said that the next series they're gonna do is gonna be online instead of Shonen Jump. It's
Oh,
I can't think of what the app is, but it's shown in something where it's the more adult line, like a seinen almost.
okay. So it's gonna get much
Probably
more
darker.
mature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look forward to that. I can't wait to hear more about that one. But I do love the dynamic though between Aki, Denji, and Power. Like Aki is just the babysitter. He's like the dad
He's a
dealing with the
sweetheart.
two of them. And then you have Power who's just like doesn't know anything about personal space.
Doesn't know how to flush a toilet. Doesn't know how to
Doesn't
take a
know how to
bath.
flush and then she expects Denji to help her with all this stuff, and Denji's just kind of like, no, 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 no.
Like when they took a bath and he was like, oh, it wasn't sexual, but being a 16, 17-year-old kid, he thought it was. And she's just like, I don't know how to take a bath. Like she's that dumb.
Yeah, she's kind of like doesn't know how to human.
Yeah.
But who do we else want to talk about? How do you think this differs from other shonen?
I think it's the right blend of comedy and action and violence. Like, yeah, it has that over the top core factor, but what
Mhm.
keeps you around besides like the stupid violence is the characters. Like, you just wrap up and fall in love with them, I think is what it is.
Yeah, you kinda love Denji for his stupidity. You kinda,
His
like,
charm.
understand yeah, it's his charm, and you understand why he's like that, and then you kinda like Power for just being loud and obnoxious and just
She's fun.
she's a lot of fun. And, of course, Pochita's cute.
I love Pochita. Well, see, I
I
don't
will
want to like spoil stuff, but other characters, like, yeah, just I don't want to ruin it for
I
other
know,
people.
it's
That's what
like, get
sucks
over
about
it.
trying to talk about it.
I know, it's kinda like, I want people to read this, and then we can come back so we can have a chat, because it's so much easier to do a spoiler chat with this story.
What I think is this video will probably blow up later, like, a couple months from now when people are actually getting into Chainsaw Man and go, oh, what's this? Because, as soon as the anime drops or it comes close to it, people
Yeah.
are going to be searching up whatever they can about it.
Yeah, and I recommend it. I mean, I don't recommend it for kids, but I do recommend people check it out. I mean,
Oh, it's one of my favorites,
it
100%.
is. It's right up there. I've been collecting the physicals. I'm waiting for 10 to come in the mail because I think that's shipped already.
Yeah, it should be next week. I think the 4th it comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Star
I
Wars
know
Day.
some
May the
people
4th
got
be
it.
with you.
Oh yeah, may the 4th be with you. I think some people got it early, which I'm
Yeah,
kind
a
of
bunch of people
jealous
got it.
about. I was like, "Damn. Why can't I get it early?" But I did finish it up on the app. What was the there's like a lot of other characters. There's the angel demon.
The angel
That's all.
demon's cool. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
cool.
it, it's an angel, but it's a devil. But yeah,
Yeah, it's they're kind to humans, but they have a bad effect on humans if they interact physically.
hmm
King KDI goes, "Don't worry about it, do a spoiler section."
towards the end.
Yeah, we'll do it towards the end.
Well, see, the funny thing is, like, I'm not going to spoil it, but rereading it again, like, they foreshadow a lot of things that you didn't suspect, and you're like, oh, what about the? Whoa, it's there the whole time, right in your face.
Yeah, and that's what I kinda miss about with American comic books sometimes too.
Oh yeah,
Like, I want an arc built, and that's what I love about manga. You get, like, a full arc, and they do foreshadow. Like, if you've ever read One Piece, I don't know if you've gotten into
no,
One
it's
Piece.
too much for me.
I know, it's like how many years it's been going on, but it will go back to the beginning and reference stuff, and then you realize, "Oh my god, I didn't even notice that happening."
But
And
it's cool
now
though.
it's yeah, it's awesome. It's, like, great writing, and that's why I keep telling people, "You gotta try manga." Did a whole video about it.
No, I did too. Like my comics are, what do I call it? Manga's King comics are dead. Like it's got like almost 10,000 hits on it because people like it. And it's just like the reason why I love comic books because I did it for like 13, 14 years. It's heavy into spec, buying variants. And I was like, no, I'm done with this. But it's because they're changing writers constantly. They're retconning or they don't even care. They'll drop a series at like issue 10, even though they had like 14 arcs figured out. Like, we're going to just restart it from one again, again, again. And it's like, I can't deal with it. And there's
And
one picking up point, like, well, besides Dragon Ball and other stuff, it's spin offs, but volume one is volume one. You don't need X-Men from now, X-Men from the 90s, X-Men from, Hickman's run. It's you can pick it up and read it straightforward.
right, and I mean, I'm just gonna use this as an example because it's probably something everybody's most familiar with, but as long as you read Naruto, you could pick up Boruto.
Yeah,
It's I think there's a lot of continuity issues in comics, and
a lot.
a lot of continuity issues. They were just talking about that on Comic Aficionados with the upcoming DC comic big event, and I feel like there's too many big events.
Oh, I don't even pay attention anymore to like I mean, I'll pay attention to here and there, but like the last run that I did before I got a comics was Hickman's House of X,
Okay.
Powers of X, and then after that, all I'm reading right now is Saga, Something's Killing the Children, Once Upon a Few. It's all indie stuff, no Marvel or
Yeah.
DC.
I have Saga. I want to get the box set that's on Right Stuff
Okay,
for the graphic novels, but I have not read Something is Killing the Children. I keep
it's
hearing people telling
good.
me.
Basically, beautiful, badass girl. She can see monsters that kids can see, and she just slaughters them, Jenny Slaughter. And it's really well done. It's very dark. The art's not amazing. I like the art style, but it's a great story. And they also had a spinoff too, but it's a secret society
Okay.
basically that hunts down monsters. It's cool.
Okay. It's that sounds like right up my alley. I gotta check that out. I just did a review on Radiant Black. That's another one I recommend.
How was that? I picked up
It's
volume one.
It is really good. Like, it starts off like with a classic superhero. You have a guy who's down on his luck, and then suddenly he comes across a device that gives him superpowers. The only problem is he's not sure he wants to do this, and his best friend is like, "Oh my god, you're a superhero. This is so cool." He starts creating social media accounts, coming up with names for him, and he's just like, "No, wait, I don't know if I want to do this." And then it takes a turn you don't see coming. And they're building a universe with this character.
Oh,
There's
really?
a bunch.
Because I'm mad because when they used to do Comic Vaults Live, I got the 9.8 chromium foil, whatever car. I sold that at Baltimore, but made decent money
Oh,
off it. So they're trying to do a whole universe. That sucks because it's
yeah, they
limited to like
have
100.
they have I think it's Rogue Sun is the spinoff. There's another one with a Red Radiant, I think it is,
Okay.
but I haven't got that one yet. I did buy Rogue Sun. I don't know if I should read it yet till I get a few more graphic novels in on Radiant Black. But yeah, they're building a universe. It's nice to see people building universes outside of DC and Marvel.
Well, because they're passionate. It's their own project. It's not whatever they get handed and go. Well, no one wants to create new characters anymore either because you don't own the rights to it. You work for hire.
Exactly. And then yeah, and you just get like rehashes of existing characters, and it's kind of like, oh great, another Spider-Man.
I loved Spider-Verse. Like, that was great. Like, Edge of Spider-Verse was so good. I passed up on getting the variants for the Spider-Gwen. I kicked myself in the ass for it. Like $20. I'm like,
Ah,
I don't need another spin-off, volume two. But I mean, also like I really liked what was it? War of the Realms, Agent of Atlas. I like the
okay.
all Asian team, but people bitch all the time. They're like, we need new characters, and Marvel tries
That's
it and they don't go anywhere.
that's what I was saying about Agents of Atlas. I have the books too, and I was just like, you have these really interesting characters you can capitalize on, especially if you want to bring in new fans. Like you
Yep.
had the K-pop idol, you could have capitalized on that with like K-pop fans and
Yep.
brought them in on it.
Or they tried Mosaic. I went heavy on Mosaic too when that first came out. Like he's overpowered, but Marvel just wrote him off. They did like 2 issues with him, and they're like, nope, we're done.
It's like they don't. What they need to do is put a big name writer on it and then promote it.
They don't have anybody left. They've all left.
They're at Substack.
Yep.
They're at Substack, or they're doing their own indie comics on crowdfunding, which is sad. They
But they
don't
can
want to
make more
build up.
money. You can't
I
blame them.
No, I can't. I mean, I've seen what some of them do on Indiegogo and Kickstarter for their own comics. I mean, they're just blowing up there. Well, who'd want to go back to DC and Marvel?
Yep. Why would you
Most
want
of
to be
them,
forced in a corner?
and most of them don't get royalties for anything they created. If they did create something,
Yep.
it sucks. And this is why I think manga is exploding. I mean, I see manga everywhere now. I get emails from different places trying to get me to buy manga from their store because they now have manga.
It reminds me of like the mid 90s, early 2000s. Do you remember the manga boom back then?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember the manga boom back then, and then there was also the start of a lot of indie comics back then too, like with Image in the 90s.
Oh yeah, I remember getting Spawn 1 when it came out. I was like, this is amazing, Cyberforce, all that. I was a huge Top Cow fan as a teenager.
I think they're bringing back Cyberforce on Indiegogo or
They did a while
Kickstarter.
ago, yeah.
I have not. I don't know if I backed it. I lost track of some of the stuff I backed.
Well, see, for me, I got out because it was a money sink. Like, I'd be spending
Yeah.
like $400 or $500 a week on variants, this and that. Like, I can flip and make money, but then I start buying original pages because I'm like, where it's like, oh, do you have the hot book? And speculation's so bad now. Like 3 days from now, a comic that was $400 is $20 again. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's I think
toxic.
it's like DC, I think, just capitalizes on variant covers now too.
Yeah,
I think
and well, they just what Daniel Cherry left, right? So they put
yes.
someone. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, I think that was a pretty bad turn for DC. I wasn't a huge DC fan, but
Right, and I think they go all in on one character now. It's all Batman.
Batman. Yeah, well, I love the New 52. Like Snyder and Capullo's run is my favorite Batman run. Tried
That
the
was one
Tom
of the
King
few
run.
things about 52 I liked.
I loved it. That's when I
Yeah.
first got back in, and I'm like, oh, I hate Batman. Batman is stupid. And I read it. I'm like, that's where I fell in love with Scott Snyder, like witches and everything else he does. I'm like, I love Snyder.
Yeah. He might be the one I follow on Substack.
He
'Cause
probably
I know he's on.
it's everything he's done. The only thing I haven't read was American Vampire. Have you read that?
No, I haven't. I've seen the ads for it on Instagram, and I was thinking about getting it.
Okay. Yeah, I know they have like 2 or 3 different ones. It's like a Midwestern vampire story. I love
Okay.
vampires. It's just I've never gotten around to it. Redneck's good too. Have you done Redneck?
I've heard about it, but I'm catching up on so much. I have like a stack of indie comics I'm trying to get through in my room right now. I've got
Trust
so
me,
many.
these are all like the mangas I've got in the past like year. Like I'm over, I think 1100 now from like 70. And people
Yeah,
think it's crazy, but still cheaper than comics. And
it is.
they're thicker for the price of 2 comics now. I can get 100, 300 pages instead of 60
Right.
pages if you're lucky.
I think like a Batman comic, depending on the
Are they
run, is
five
going
or
like
$6?
$5 or $6, and
No.
I'm thinking I could do like a manga, and if I do it for Right Stuff, it's even cheaper.
Yep.
And
Or
I get
also
like a
Target's
book
really
to
good too.
stick. Yeah. But I'm just like, I why with that money I can spend it on something that's a better story. I get more story, and it's a completed story.
See, but that's what kills me. It's like I was known as the comic guy. I was like, I don't know if you ever paid attention to comic book investing, CBSI.
No.
Okay, well
Um,
there.
I did follow something else. I forgot what it was, but
Anyways, like I got really into it with all the people there. I started doing a podcast with my buddy Mel. Hey, what's up, Elite?
Elite Collector.
I love him. He's so
Yeah,
nice.
he is.
He's a sweetheart. But yeah, like when I got out, like I just did Baltimore a couple months ago, hanging out with all my buddies, and they're like, "You're into manga now?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Aren't you sick of American comics?" But they're so wrapped up in just making money off of variants, they don't give a shit about even reading anymore.
Right.
And
It's
go ahead,
it's
sorry.
more about the I'm sorry, it's more about the artwork.
Oh yeah, and I love some variants. They're pretty. Like have a couple buddies that own shops, and like their stuff looks cool, but I'm not gonna buy it. And a couple other major companies they want to get into selling variants, but they don't realize with the Japanese comic market, it's so hard to get a license with them. It's not like America. You can hit up whoever and go, hey, like Greg Capullo, you want to draw this, or Jim Lee or somebody. Well, Jim Lee you're not going to get, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
But you have to go through so much red tape to get a variant covered because of the license holders and they're very old school. But I tried to hook them up and it's just like it's not going to happen. But I noticed did you see the Books a Million that they just did 2 variants for? Watakoi I pre-ordered. I'm not a rom-com guy, but I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah, I have it. I just read the first volume, and I'm, like, in love with that. I'm gonna probably do a review on that soon.
It's so cute. Well, I stopped watching because I watch the anime sometimes. I'll check out the anime and be like, all right, let me see, dip my toe in. And it's like, if you end up binging it, well, it's still gonna be better in the manga. But same thing with quintessential quintuplets. And shout out to Elite Collector, like he got me into that. It's like, oh, this looks stupid. Oh my god, it's so cute. Have you read that yet?
No, I think I have that coming, though.
Oh, it is so cute. It is.
Is it?
It's a harem story, but it's nothing sexual. It's just like cute slice of life rom com stuff, where a kid that's tutoring 5 different girls. They're all
Okay.
quintuplets, and it starts off with him marrying one, but you don't know which one he's marrying
Which
because
one?
they all look the same, and it's cute.
Yeah, I'm not big on the romance stuff, but I do like stuff like Fruit Basket.
I haven't checked it out. Everyone says it's good.
Yeah, even if you're a shonen fan, because there is, like, shonen elements to it, because it is pretty much a family that is cursed by the zodiac spirits, and anytime they interact with the opposite sex, they turn into that animal.
Oh, that sounds cool because no one's ever explained to me what it is. I just thought it was like a lovey-dovey slice of life. Like, oh, it's like I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, no, and I think you'll love, Koi, who's the cat.
Okay.
He is the badass, and he's kinda like the outsider, and there's a reason when you read the manga why he's kind of, like, outside of everybody else.
Okay.
But it's good, I like that one. I kinda like stuff where they have some type of shonen elements into it, but I will definitely check that out because I think I have it coming, the
Quintessential
quintessential.
quintuplets. Yeah, they did a box set a while ago with Target because they had an insane deal. Well, it's only like half the series, but they did an insane deal on it, and they canceled a lot of people because it was like I think $30 or $40 instead of $80. It was a hell of a deal.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That
but I'm
sounds
waiting.
really good.
Like I have them all up there. Like I actually have. Can you see it all the way up there?
Oh, there you
I
go.
actually have all the quints up there for like the
Oh,
little
wow.
toys. But that's cute. People tell me all the time on my YouTube channel, like different stuff to try, and I'm like, because they know I'll read anything. Like I like weird stuff. People kept on suggesting Gal Gohan. I was like, this sounds stupid. It's basically a high schooler that she's an idiot, but she's in this after school cooking club, which is just her and her teacher, and she falls in love with them. And I don't like cooking. I'm not a cooking or sports man.
Mhm.
I'm slowly dipping my toes into different things. Like the weirdest part is I've read more boys love. I'm not into it than an actual sports manga, but I'm trying stuff slowly. Like I want to get something that I'll
Mhm.
enjoy.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I did get really into Komi Can't Communicate.
I have them all. I haven't read them because I was just slowly collecting it, and now I got all 17 of them. And I'm like, I'll read it because on the weekends usually, because when I'm working, like I'm busy all week, and I'll usually like pick up a stack or something. Like for the 3.5 weeks now, I've also been doing Elden Ring. I've been trying to binge Hell's Paradise. Have you read that?
I've been trying to get all the volumes. I'm probably
It's
gonna just give up and read,
just read it on the
on
app.
the app.
It's so
I
good. And
read
the
up to
anime coming for
4.
that. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Gimbara is awesome, and just the whole storyline, and it's drawn so beautifully, and I love it.
Yeah, I think it's I love the covers too on those books. I'm like, "This is so beautiful with the
They're
covers."
pretty.
Yeah, and then, like, the story itself is just really intriguing, and I'm, like, frustrated because I want more of the physical copies, but yeah, I'm probably just gonna give up and go on the app and finish it.
See, that's the thing. It's I keep on saying I'm gonna stop buying stuff. Like I just did a video, like because at this point I just record 2 or 3 videos like on a weekend when I have time. And I have my haul. I think I got 70, but I ended up buying more this week, and this month's not even over. And I'm like, I'll just put it next month, you know?
Yeah. I kinda look at my room right now and go, "I don't have enough bookshelves."
Oh, I got 3 of them, and you can't even see on the floor, but I got a stack of like just new manga, older stuff, and it's just I have no room anymore, you know?
I know, and it's like I've gotten back into manga this past year, and I think I've already filled up 2 bookcases, like
Oh, it's easy. It's so
yeah,
easy.
I
Well,
know.
especially if you get deals. Like for me, my favorite deals are Right Stuff is good. They have issues right now with shipping, but it you can't beat it. Like I got Berserk Volume 10 for $33. Like that's a
I
steal.
know.
And for the free shipping, that was awesome. I just had to order 80. The only thing that sucks with them is box sets. When I just got the Claymore box set, I think it was like 25 with shipping. It was still cheaper than buying it in store. Even like it broke down to like $6.66. So even with shipping, like $8, it's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, and I just got, like, a deal through Books A Million. If you buy, like, over $50, you use the coupon, get 10% off, plus I
Why is
have
that?
free shipping.
Oh, nice. Are you in the club?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, because I'll do BAM once in a while. For the closest one for me is like almost in New Hampshire, Connecticut. Like
yeah.
it's a ride, but gas is too expensive now. But I used to drive around all the time, and do like shopping videos of just cool different stores, checking them out. Target's really good because they have the 20% off, and if you have your red card. But 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got the buy two get one free. So I wasn't gonna do Dragon Ball Super, but I like the anime, so I was like, I'll pick that up. I got Solo Leveling, and what was the
I
other
love
One
solo
Punch.
leveling.
And One Punch, I've been reading on the app. I didn't want to buy because I was waiting for a box set, but I'm like, for $7 a piece, buy two get one free. Like I'll buy it and fill in the gaps after.
Yeah, see, I have a bunch of One Punch, but I'm missing certain volumes, and I was in
Yep.
Target, and I was like, "Yes, they have 4."
Yeah, it's hard. People don't realize everyone calls it a manga shortage. It's just printing, not defects. It's just printing delays because everybody wants to print stuff. And after, the giant boom of manga and everyone's trying to get press time, it's really hard for everyone to get press.
Mhm. Elite Collector says, "I like the anime for Fruit Basket, but don't think I can get into the manga." I've watched the anime too, the anime's really good. There's the newer one
I
that's
heard they
now
redid it, right? Yeah.
yeah, they redid it. It's pretty good. I like it so far. Um, but I think the manga's worth it too.
Oh, I
I
forgot we
give the
can read
manga a
comments.
chance.
Sorry. I forgot.
That's
I haven't
okay.
used StreamYard in a while.
That's okay.
So I can pay
And
attention and
then
talk to people. Oh, book vibes. What's
Book
up?
Vibes.
I
Hell's
love
Paradise is
Kiki.
top tier. Yes.
Oh, can I plug me and her real quick for a sec?
Sure.
All right, so if you go follow myself and Book Vibes on YouTube, we're doing a giveaway this month. We've both been on for a year, and it's our birthday month, so we're giving
Mhm.
away 4 $25 gift cards to either Right Stuff or Amazon, your choice. It's open to international viewers, so if you can't get either one, we'll give you a $25 gift certificate for Manga. And one of my videos, just search up Hartless Weeb or Book Vibes. We both have it. We're doing it on the 31st and get some free shit.
Oh, nice. Happy
Yeah.
birthday to both of you. King KDI is back. He says variant collectors equals speculators. How many books of the same story with a different cover do you want?
You want me to get into this real quick? Because I go into
Yeah.
Inside Baseball, like the video that I was talking about, like I was
Mhm.
really deep in it. Okay, so what happens is, say there's a print run of say 200,000. That's huge now. Like 200,000 is a crazy amount to sell. Used to sell millions. But what happens is, all right, say Marvel, right? You have the 1 in 1,000 variant, right? Okay, that's cool. But you get all the other tier levels. You get the 1 in 500. You get 10 of the 1 in 100s. You can get up to 20 of the 1 in 25s or 20s. Or the other stuff they also don't tell you what the variants are. Say, I have my own store, Nick's store. I'm selling 3 different variants. It's cool. The minimum print run for Marvel and DC, I think, is anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 copies. So unless you physically see them ripping up and destroying them, there's 5,000 of the variants and you're throwing your money in the trash. Like, but people don't talk about this. Or then you see what really used to piss me off is somebody like, oh, I found a couple. No, Timmy's sitting on like 300 of them and he's dumping them on eBay for $60 a piece and flooding the market and you're getting screwed, you know?
Right, and then you have, like, DC, what was it? 1 month they had 25 variants for a Batman
Oh,
comic?
the worst one I got into, and I think I didn't sell them, I sold a couple, was the lenticular covers. Those were
Mm,
so hard to get before they put out the packs, but some of
yeah,
them were cool.
but yeah, it kinda gets pricey and you're
Oh, I've dropped, I think the most on a variant was like $300-400. The best
wow.
one was the most expensive ever one was I spent 1,500 on the D23 black and white version. There was only 30 of. I somehow managed to get my hands on it. I think I flipped it for like almost 8 grand. And a couple months later, the guy got it signed and graded. I think he sold it for like $18,000, but there was only 30 of them. Like that was only 30 made. It's not, well, the 1 in 100s. If you figure there's a 1 in 100 for the market, there's probably at least 1,000, 2,000 of them out there. But
Yeah.
that's how shops make their extra money too, because they're sitting on all these dead stock, and sometimes they'll let you send them back. And that's how you get your Walmart variants, or your the
Yes.
5 packs, 10 packs, whatever.
Yeah, and it's kinda like it gets out of hand, I think, in my opinion. Death Pen Manga and Comics.
Ah, what's
Hello
up,
to both of
Darth?
you. Just subbed. Still need to get into Chainsaw Man. Thank you very much. And yes, check out Chainsaw Man. It is awesome. We like it a lot. And we have
Yeah.
King KDI again, store exclusive Virgin covers.
Oh, I love them. Some of them are beautiful. Like the Ages of Atlas. I actually got the what country was it from? It was Microsun, the really beautiful girl with like the green visor. She's flying and stuff. I
Yep.
ordered that the Virgin cover just because I thought it looked cool, and now it's worth a crap ton of money. But I was just like, I paid I think $80 for it, and I thought that was a lot of money. Now it's like what, $1,000, $2,000 comic. But people don't realize sometimes you can get really beautiful virgins. Like I'm also on the fence. I like Peach Momoko, but I think either she does really good stuff and hits it out of the park, or she does trash where like their fingers are bent and they're all wonky and stuff.
Yeah, I wonder though, like with this whole variant cover with the prices going up, do you think there's gonna be a kind of like a crash like there was
Yes.
in the 90s?
It's so bad where like say 2 years ago or a year ago, you had your hot 10 list that everyone was doing. Now you got influencers on YouTube or they have their own app where they're putting bullshit up. They're like key appearance, it's the second or third, or like first cover. It's like that shit's not real. It's either first appearance or not. Like it's the Hulk
Right.
181. Do you want a Hulk 180 where Wolverine's really in it, or is it 181? Well, the market decided in CGC and everybody else said it's 181, not 180, even though he's in costume, he talks, and he fights, but it's not
Right.
his first appearance. It's crazy.
I know. It's kind of like
But it's speculative
insane.
selling to each other. It's the cannibalizing where you used to have like you get an exclusive for like $10, $20, right? Now they're selling the variants for $60, $70 a piece, not even sets, like it's too much money and there's not enough meat in the bone to make money, and everyone's hoping that they can flip.
Yeah, it's gonna crash and it's gonna be bad.
I'm gonna laugh when it happens.
Me too, because I'll be collecting manga. 80s made consumer. Huge movie buff. Just got back into comics recently. Haven't dipped into the manga world yet. Think I'll pull the trigger on Battle Angel Lita.
I didn't like it, but that's a personal preference. I didn't like the art style, the story, but there's a bunch of stuff out there for everyone. If you
Yeah,
like the
and
movie, it was kind of close to it, but I hated the movie.
the movie was good. I didn't mind the movie that much. I think it was also because it was coming out at a time where there was a lot of crap movies.
Yeah, the CGI, the eyes are really what turned me off. Like it wasn't a bad movie; it was cool, but I think you always get your classics that are always going to be good. Like I love Akira. Akira's great. Berserk's great. If they're like timeless series, like Dragon Ball, Battle Angel, Alita, like certain things, they're classics for a reason. People always go back to them or read them. You can't ever go wrong. But the new stuff,
Right.
I feel like the market's so flooded with. I love isekai. Like a couple years ago, isekai wasn't that big. Like I dipped my toes in. Now isekai, everything. You want to go to a different world with different powers and everything. It's so flooded, but you got to wade through all the shit to figure out what you really like.
Right. Yeah, it's like I just got into The Rising of the Shield Hero.
I love it.
Yeah, I like that. But then I read the one, what was it? Like the oh god, it's a long title, which is another thing that drives me nuts. Ah.
I wanted the bunny one, but this hot spring one's cute too. And the weirdest thing is, I was turned off by it because I'm not into furries. I think it's weird. I don't judge people like
Mhm.
cosplay, And I realized, oh no, they're just like monster girls. Same thing with what's the other series that's really great and dark? Gleipnir. Everyone thought because the guy's an anthropomorphic animal suit. It's kind of like a mech, but it's a cool story.
Yeah, the one thing I was kind of getting like annoyed with in the first volume is when he gets labeled something. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
spoil it.
Yep.
But then after that it was great. But yeah, then I read that other one. It's a long title. It's about the girl who is chosen to be a hero to go back in time, go back into another dimension and then she's instead decides to have a bookstore. And I was like, I feel
Oh,
like
that
I'm
sounds cute.
It did, and then I read the first volume and I'm like, this is very Disney. It's too
Well, see,
cutesy.
I gotta. Where is it? Somewhere. You want to give me 1 second? I have the
Yeah.
happy medium of Rising of the Shield Hero is cute, but then no one talks about Redo of Healer because that's almost like Claymore because of a lot of the adult situations and how horrible it is. But there's, I forget what it is. It's got a long name. It's in my stack, but it's that happy medium of there's adultness where there's action, violence, but it's not as cute as Rising of the Shield Hero, which is still cute. It's cool. I like it. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Go ahead. Do that. I like the movie, but I didn't like the art style. That's why I haven't pulled the trigger yet. Yeah, I think it's because it's an older manga series, and I don't think a lot of the art was different back then, and it wasn't as appealing as I think the art is now. I mean, there was exceptions, like I like Akira, but yeah, I agree. 80s made consumer. I seen the art in the Battle Angel Alita, and again, I think it's because it's mostly 80s.
Sorry, I can't find it. But if you want a cute like slice of life where it's not a lot of action, but it's not an isekai, it's more sword and sorcery. Frieren,
I have volume 1.
so good, so
It's
good.
on my read list. I have
It's
volume
slow,
1.
but it's basically an elf that she does 20 years with the party and everyone's slowly dying. And she realizes she's going to live for hundreds of years and her time with people are short. And she tries making connections. It's cute and fun. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, it's on my list. It's on my pile of manga to
Nice.
read. Kinke Reincarnation of, I feel like that's like a title for almost a whole bunch of mangas nowadays.
Oh, it's I got reincarnated as, or I died and came back with. My favorite meme is like Truck-kun, where it's just the truck that hits people and they get isekai'd.
Oh yeah.
It's cool.
The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. There is one though I do want to check out. What is it? It's he's like overpowered and he gets incarnated as somebody who's supposed to be less powered, but then he's still more powerful than everybody.
Yeah,
I
that's a
forgot the
trope.
name. Yeah, I was like, that one looked interesting. I didn't check it out. What's it?
There is one. It's called Exo Dive. Oh, it's right here. See, I'm just throwing them. I got stacks of them. This is a joke. Basically, it is all the isekai. It's called, what is it? I'm reading it backwards. It's and the next volume comes out this month. The Exo Drive Reincarnation Games All Japan Isekai Battle Tournament. It's so stupid. They have kids line up that get hit by trucks. They get transported to another world, but people watch it almost like a game show.
Oh
And
wow.
it's over the top, but if you like the isekai genre with some comedy with action, it's pretty cool.
So it's even more twisted than Squid Game.
Oh yeah, it's worse.
That sounds awesome.
Kiki, yes. Get Frieren. It's awesome. It's so good.
Yeah. I have book 1. I'll be reading that. I think I ordered book 2. I don't remember. Monster.
Why would you read that smut?
Why would you? What else did I recently get that I just did a review for Monday for Soul Eater.
Yep. How do you
got the
do reviews all the times? I want to do it, but my issue is, like I said, I read a lot of stuff, but I always forget names because, like, I'll just mentally dump it. I'll be like, main character, cool, cool.
I put my iPad in front of me with the names of the
That sounds like
characters.
such a pain in the
butt. or like something like I have like the Chainsaw Man volume 1 here just in case I had to like remember something in the first volume.
Yep.
But what I do is I try to do all my videos on the weekend at some point because work during the week.
You
By the
bang
time
out
I
a
get
lot
home,
of videos.
I
I've
been
been
trying to keep a schedule.
like the most busy people I see is usually you, Elite Collector, and Dad Needs to Talk, where like you guys put out like 6-7 videos a week, and I'm like, and I'm assuming you guys all have full-time jobs in real lives too. It's like, how the hell do you find time with that?
I kind of try to do it on a day on the weekend or like Friday night.
Oh, so you do it like me, you'll bang them all at once? Well, I live with other people too. Most people don't know that.
Okay.
This is like where I record, but I record downstairs. But if someone's upstairs and they're watching TV, it's loud. It's like I don't
Yeah,
want
it gets
background
picked up.
noise. Yeah.
Right. I don't blame you. I have, like, this one office, and luckily the dog stays in here with me, and he sleeps
Oh,
when
that's
I'm
cool.
doing a recording. As long as nobody makes noise outside, he will not bark. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I try to bang it out, like, a Friday or maybe, like, after the stream. Like, I just started doing these live streams, and I know it's a lot, but I'm trying to, like, get more traction out there.
It helps though. That's why when you're
Yeah,
like,
it
"You wanna come
does.
on?" I'm like, "I'll jump on and BS about Chainsaw Man because I like it. It gets more, me out here, it gets you out there. It helps everybody."
Yeah, and it's like I started this channel, like I said in one of my other videos, I was trying to give people alternatives to like DC and Marvel because I hear so many people are frustrated about it. And then when I try to explain manga, they kind of go, "Oh, I don't like the art style, it looks too kiddie," or "I don't like the idea of reading the opposite direction," or "It's not in color." And I'm like, those are to me not like good enough reasons. They're good stories if you sit down and like give it a chance. Even if you read it on the app, which might be easier.
Well, see, my thing is, I read, manga when I first got into it in like the early
Mhm.
'90s, but I just like I always joked around even with indie comics because I was used to manga stuff. I'm like, just give me a good story. Good art helps, but a story is better, and people want good stories, and they complain. It's like, try this. Well, I don't like it. I'm like, just try it. And a lot of people are like, damn, that was really good. I'm like, you can read manga. Well, no, I don't like that Japanese, cartoons. I'm like, you're so stuck in your world of just reading, American comics that you shit on and hate, but you want to try something new.
And I think the other thing is too, I hear a lot is they see Pokemon and they think that's all
Like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's all like
manga is.
bells and whistles and just happiness. And I'm like, there's a lot of dark, dark stuff out there that I enjoy. But I'm more on the fringe of like, I like horribly bad things. Like Goodnight Poon Poon, I read in like a day and a half. People were like, oh, it traumatized me. I'm like, I thought it was great, but it takes a lot for, trigger me. One thing was like, yeah, but then I'm like, it's a cool story. It's like really well thought out. And the main character is drawn as like a duck thing and changes it. Have you heard about Poon Poon?
Yes, and I didn't get Poopoon yet, but I got the other one that just came out from the same author about the aliens
Okay.
and I
Dead
forgot.
Dead Demons Distract. I
Yes.
have it. I've just been sitting on it, yeah. And
Yeah,
that got
it's
announced
on
at
my
Anime.
pile to read next.
Yeah.
But, I also like stuff like Death Note
Death
because
Note's great.
it's just like a chess game between these 2 characters.
Well, did you read Platinum End by the same
I
mangaka?
have it. I'm going to read it next.
The anime is pretty good for it too.
I heard about that. I also got Record of Ragnarok, but people told me don't watch the anime.
I see. I haven't watched the anime. Everyone trashed on it. They said the manga is really good. But have you tried Vinland Saga? Vinland
Yes,
Saga
I
is good too.
have the first 2 volumes,
Yeah.
and I do enjoy that because I even like Vikings, so I was like, "Let me try Vinland Saga," and I love the main character and his arc. But, yeah, I'm gonna be continuing that once I get a hold of more of the volumes.
Yeah.
Because it's like, again, sometimes it's hard to get the volumes.
Oh yeah. People don't realize I got them all behind me, right back there. But like everyone's like, "Oh, you got them all." I'm like, Vagabond, Vinland Saga. Like you buy them here and there. If you can see them at this point, grab them, and then you can slowly fill in the rest of your stuff later. It sucks that
Mhm.
you can't binge read it, but read it online legally, and you can still have in your personal collection. Like we were talking about, we both read Chainsaw Man. I'm still gonna
Yeah.
support the artist and creative team behind it when it comes out.
Yes. Yeah, I kinda use the app to see what I like, and then if I like something, I'm gonna go full blown, unless it's something I can't get on the app.
There's a couple things that I'm not gonna lie, I've read scans that are never gonna come out in English, like Redo of Healer. That's never gonna get a release. I also want to do what's that Putin one that came out? I wanted to read it before all this, but like I think it's Ride On with Putin or whatever. It's he just rides on everything shirtless. Like that sounds stupid and fun. But now with everything going on in the world, probably not gonna get printed in English. I'm just saying.
I know. I kinda got into a Twitter war recently because Twitter war is like a cesspool of people who get offended over everything.
Yep, that's why I just got it to check out people, like retweet my stuff, and then I'm off it.
Yeah, I it was a they got upset over and this is what kills me, and I'm probably gonna do a video about this. There was a scan from Berserk of the part where they're riding on the horses, the demons, and they have, like, the stakes with the girls' bodies on it,
Mhm.
and they're, like, complaining about it, and I'm like, You're taking the whole scene out of
It's out of
context."
context. I mean, like, I wouldn't get Guts and Skeletonite tattooed on me if I thought it was trash and just like rape porn. Like, it's not that. Yes, there's adult issues, but there's a whole backstory and just how beautiful everything is. And Guts he gets abused constantly, but he still he's like Denji almost, where he just keeps on trucking on and wants to live life.
Right, and it's not just one-sided. That's the thing what you try to explain to people. You're just looking at this image and think it's only against women. You have to read the whole story and get the whole thing
Oh
about
yeah,
it. But it's like that's another point, like with manga, there's so many types of manga. And when I'm talking to people who are frustrated with DC and Marvel, I'm like, there's so many things. You like horror? They
yep.
have horror. You
Horror
like
is way better.
sci-fi?
Yep.
Yeah, they have sci-fi. You want superheroes? You've got superheroes. Look at One Punch Man and My Hero Academia. I mean, even if you look at Chainsaw Man, that's kind of like a superhero with a horror elements.
But it's also you got cooking, you got sports. Like you could just get so obscure. Say like you want someone to play shogi that's in love, but like there's so many different things. There's literally, if you think it, it's out there somewhere. Despite how
Yeah.
weird or strange you think it would be.
Yeah, there's something for everybody in manga, and I'm like, give it a chance. And I tell like a lot of people who read DC and Marvel and are looking for something else, try My Hero Academia. It's like a love letter to Marvel comics.
See, well, I watched the anime a couple episodes. Like it sounded cool. It's just I think I'm so burnt out with American comics. Like I'm at the point now where I saw
Yeah.
Spider-Man, but I'm like, I was really into the MCU after Phase 2. I don't even care if I see Doctor Strange at this point. Like Moon Knight just came out. I haven't even watched it.
Yeah, I started to check out after Infinity War. I loved Infinity War, but then when I watched Endgame, I actually did not like Endgame, and a lot of people were like, "Why?"
It was good, but it wasn't amazing. Like
No.
I think
And there
I'm
was a
waiting. Sorry, go.
yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's like I'm waiting for Guardians. Like I love that like late 2000s run of Guardians where they did it, and I think James Gunn's is great. Like Suicide Squad was great.
Yeah.
Did you watch Peacemaker?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so because I was like, I don't care about Peacemaker. This seems stupid. And my brother's like, it's up your alley. And I watched it. I'm like, this is horrible. This is perfect for me.
Yeah, and what's his name? He shows he's got the acting
Oh, he
chops,
can
and
act.
he's hilarious.
Well, you think of him as just like John Cena as a meathead, and he's really not. And he's funny as shit. Like it is so adult and over the top with the violence, and like I loved it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like DC's doing a little bit better with their TV productions. I haven't seen the Batman, so I can't
Okay,
comment on that.
funny thing is last weekend, like I had time off, and I was like, all right, what do I want to do? I'm like, well, I want to see Jujutsu Kaisen. So I saw that, and I was at the theater. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go see Batman. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I'm not going to spoil it. I just felt it was too goddamn long because halfway through it, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I have another hour left. I'm like, I'm going to go pee and like, I'll come back. But like, I almost want to play on my phone, but I didn't want to be that guy because it was so boring. It just got stretched out. It's like they should either made it 2 movies or maybe 2 hours, but 3 hours was a long run time for something that could have been wrapped up.
And that's what kind of worries me about. I think Doctor Strange is going to be a long one too.
Well, did you hear supposedly that they're not going to be doing WandaVision season 2?
Good, because
Oh,
I wasn't really
I
like
didn't
crazy
hate
about
it.
it.
I didn't love it. You know what it is? I think they're gonna do like with Flashpoint. Marvel's gotten too big, and they're just gonna reset everything. That's what I
Yeah,
think they're
it's
gonna do. They
that's why
have
they
to.
got the multiverse involved. It's just going to be like they're going to reset. You're going to be able to recast people,
Yep.
and
But you know what? They can take all my goddamn money if they give me mutants. I'm in.
if they
I'm
do
not
them
gonna
right,
bullshit. Like the
yeah.
X-Men movies were bad, some of them were good, but like you give me X-Men on screen, because I mean, Age of Apocalypse, everything else, they were first class, whole heart. The bar is pretty low. So if you just go a little bit higher, take my money.
Yeah, and I heard, you know who's gonna show up in Doctor Strange?
Yep. Charles
So
Xavier.
I know, and that's kind of probably one of the reasons. Because the problem with the MCU is you almost got to watch all the movies to get the whole story. It's
Well, it's
almost
like
like
reading all the tie-ins, but like that was another reason why I love comics.
too
Like
much.
House of X, Power of X, I was buying all the tie-ins, and it was like shit that I didn't care about. I'm like, why am I buying Avengers? Why am I buying Fantastic Four? Whatever. Like, remember when they tried getting rid of all the X-Men for the Inhumans, which is stupid. That was a flop.
I know, because they didn't have the rights.
They tried canceling it, and guess what? People were like, no, we don't like it. They finally got the rights. But same thing with like, I want to see Fantastic Four not be a dog shit movie. Like, I've never seen a good Fantastic Four movie.
This is true.
And
And
Doctor Doom's badass. Like,
if they listen to the fan casting, some people have come up with some great fan casting for Fantastic Four, but I'm worried because they have been kind of going against the grain when it comes to casting. Look at
yeah.
the Eternals.
I nothing to do like it was visually pretty, but I fell asleep twice watching. It was so boring. Like I love cosmic Marvel. I like
Mhm.
Cosmic Marvel more than anything else, but I was like, me as a hardcore fan, I was like, how can regular people that don't give a shit about Marvel want to watch this and go, people are like, what's so woke? I'm like, that's not even the point. It's just, it was a side thing that they tried pushing that no one really liked.
Oh, you
Yeah.
froze.
Oh, sorry. Am I
It's
good?
okay. Yeah,
Oh,
you're good.
what did I say? Like the Eternals, like it just wasn't my thing. Like it was
When
pretty, but
Yeah, when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Where are you going with this? It looks like you forgot this is supposed to be a superhero movie." It was like too very I hate to use the word artsy, like they were
it
trying to
was
like
pretty
do
though. I
more.
like that.
Yeah,
Like
it
I
was
like a lot of
pretty,
independent films.
but it's kind of like, did this work for this?
No, it was a
No.
flop. Same
Yeah.
thing with like a lot of people hated Captain Marvel. I didn't hate it. I've just never been a fan of Carol Danvers. But I looked at it from the eyes of if this is a Nick Fury side story, which that's the way I looked at it. Oh, it was awesome. But I'm
Yeah.
curious what they're going to do with Kamala Khan about how everyone's pissed about how they changed her powers. Like, I was never a fan of her, but then again, I think I'm too old and past that demographic. But
I look at it like this. I'm a comic book fan. I don't like the character, but I understand the anger over changing her powers. If they did this to a character I loved, I'd be like, "Hell no."
yeah,
It's like, no. It's like if you change anything about the X-Men, I'd be pissed off because they're my favorite Marvel characters.
but it's been retconned so many times, though. You know,
I know, and that's the other thing with modern comics and DC and Marvel. It's you
which
can't get a starting point because everything changes.
well, like someone was telling me that they just basically canned Hickman's run because that was a really because it's for so long I was trying to get into X-Men and everything. They get to like 10, 12, 15 and it sucked. And I'm like, this is a great storyline. Did they wrap up Hellfire Club or the Gala?
They did, and now they're bringing it back again.
I don't, it's just,
But it's going to be one issue.
oh, okay.
But yeah, like my friend Wes over on Thinking Critical, they were complaining about like you should have kept Hickman, if
Hickman
anything.
was great. Well, East to West is one of my favorite comics. Like, have you read
But
that?
no,
It's
I'll
Four
check
Horsemen
it out.
Apocalypse. Death gets kicked out of the group. He's chasing down to find his wife and his son, and it's pretty badass. And it's an Image title, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
finished. Yeah, it's really good.
But I mean, it's kind of like, why? It's like you
I just
have
saw,
something working. Oh, you just saw
yeah,
her.
Kiki, I agree.
I left a few times to pee and get another adult drink. However, I wasn't mad at it. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm just like,
It'll be on
it's
HBO Max at some point.
yeah.
We all know it.
And you know it's bad when that's how I feel about almost every movie coming out now. I'll just wait till it's on the app.
Well, what killed me, the worst one is I'm a huge Matrix fan. I'm so glad I didn't go to theaters. My brother's like, you want to go see? Because he goes to theaters like 3 or 4 times a week. I'm like, I'll watch it at home. I was like it's funny as a metaverse of like, a joke about it, but I was just like, this is bad, like real bad.
Well, it's like my dad was really big into kung fu movies, and also he read a lot of the Shang-Chi comics.
Yep. Shang-Chi
And
wasn't bad. I thought I would hate it.
I the movie it was completely different from what the comic book character is.
See, I was never into Shang-Chi, so I don't know.
So I sat there and I was just like, this is not the character. I mean, I get removing some of the problematic elements from the comic, but it was like you decide to give him superpowers where he was just I don't know. I wasn't for me. I'll
No,
just
I
say
mean,
that.
they're gonna try a bunch of different things to see what does work and what doesn't work. And I
Yeah.
think Marvel's found that groove, but now they're trying too hard. And I try not to be political, but they're so woke that they're fucking themselves with like they're alienating their core audience, and it's predominantly 20 to 60-year-old white males. And they're like, well, if you don't like it, don't read it. And now that no one's reading it, they're scrambling for their shit and go, well, that's why a lot of people left, for Image or Dark Horse or reading manga like me. It's you tell me I'm a piece of shit just because I don't like the storyline that you're writing now. Cool, bye guys. And like, well, why is no one reading it?
And they just did a story how One Piece outsold Batman.
Yeah, well, okay, that's another funny part. Like I brought up in my video and people don't realize is when they talk about comic scans, they're including manga in it. They're including the children's graphic novels. They're including graphic novel. So I'd say 85% of it's actually manga, but they're including the sales numbers for, oh, comics are doing great. Dude, you can't
Yeah,
get past 30,000 units on Batman without a variant. Like, how is
I
your
know
shit
that's
okay?
25 variants one time. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't mind if it's 2 or 3 or there's an incentive or if it's like, a charity thing or a special one per store. That's cool. But like, you can't cram it down people's throats. They can only buy so much. Like, I have 16 long boxes full of crap I don't care about anymore. But when I was into it, just beavering, like, oh, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy this. And now it's like, I don't care.
I know, and then you're like hearing, well, I want to read this story, but then I have to buy these characters I'm not really big on just to
Yep.
get the story, and you're like, I don't have that kind of money. I mean, I remember walking out of the comic book store like this once and going, I think more than half of this I don't care about.
I was so bad that I bag and board shit, and then I would get on Comixology and read it later just because I was so lazy. And I heard they screwed up Comixology really bad too now.
Oh my god, yeah, I haven't been on it since they updated it with Amazon because
I
they
have
bought it and merged.
I have like an old tablet from like 3 or 4 years ago, but I have a bunch of comics on it. I'll probably just keep it and just not update the app, and
Well, yeah,
because if
don't because
I've
you'll
heard
lose
it's
them.
bad because you can't zoom in, and I'll lose all my comics.
Yeah, you'll lose everything you bought, which is like,
Well,
why?
well, that's another issue. It's like I try not to bring up. I'm a physical collector of physical media, like streaming
Hmm.
movies and stuff. Like I'll buy the anime and stuff, but video games. It's look at Gran Turismo 7 that just came out. It's microtransactions. Same thing with Elden Ring. It's not microtransactions. You have to be online. What happens if you want to play it, or like Nintendo's now shutting down their eShop for 3DS and the Wii? You get those digital games, but then if you buy a new system, you can't play it ever again. Like same thing with the comics. It's why do I want to spend retail price to rent it from you? I'd rather own it. That's why I like physical collecting, like manga or comics too.
Yeah, my brother, he's more of a gamer than I am, and he's actually kind of stopped gaming a lot because he would buy the physical copy, and then he'd go online, and then he'd have to buy more to get a full game.
Oh
And he
yeah,
was
well,
like, "Why am I doing this if I have a physical DVD? I'm sliding into the Xbox."
oh, the worst one was I never did Call of Duty before, but I tried it and like there was just so much downloading, and I bought the season pass bullshit. Right, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
$20, whatever. They're just dumping unfinished games, selling you skins and everything. It's like I don't want to do this. Like, but I play a lot of role playing games. Like they're pretty much all done. It's the DLC for it. Like you want to get an extra 10 hours or whatever. I'll spend 20, $30 on it. I don't care. But if it's like a fighting game, like say in Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, you used to get stuff unlocking in game, and now it's like microtransaction. You want this character? Oh, you don't have time to play the game? Well, let's level you up, and you spend another $50. It's like that's not really gaming anymore. Same thing
Yeah,
with MMOs, right? Like you can spend money to start at level like 90. It's like, well, where's the grind? You didn't even play the game.
he got so frustrated, and he's a Call of Duty fan.
Okay.
He was just like, and then the other one was a Star Wars game he was playing where he was like, "Oh my god, it's so ridiculously outpricing itself just playing the game." He's like, every
Oh, the
time.
horrible one that EA had where like it was
Yeah.
crazy microtransaction and it was like a gotcha system or loot box where you just randomly
Yes.
get stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
he
big
like
into
went
Overwatch and I was just like, nope.
yeah, he went back to GameStop when it was still around and sold it back to
Well,
them.
it's just crazy. Like, but I like that also. Like I said, I saw the Jujutsu Kaisen movie.
I want to see that.
It was one of my favorite movies I've seen in theaters. Like I've seen a lot of stuff. Like the Mugen Train was all right for Demon Slayer. I almost said the other. Anyway, sorry, spacing out.
It's okay.
But yeah, like, and movies are getting more and more popular too. Like I think the Demon Slayer movie made a crap ton of money.
Yes,
Jujutsu
it did.
Kaisen just made a ton of money, but people don't realize it's also been running. I think Demon Slayer ran for almost like a year in theaters in Japan. But even over here, like 50, $60 million, this is nothing to sneeze at during a pandemic where no one's really going, but weebs are going. They're like, I don't care. I'm going to go see my movie.
Yeah, and it came in second to Batman, I believe.
Yeah, well, which isn't bad. Like Batman should
That's
make
not
money,
bad.
like whatever superhero, but then you have another movie that's, a niche market that's not really a niche market anymore. It's making money and people are like, yeah, give me more, give me more.
I wonder when it's going to get to a point where the anime movies are going to start outselling the superhero movies.
I think at one point, the only other thing that really made me go, what the hell? Is like I said, I saw the Demon Slayer movie, but then they did the whole Mugen Train arc as the anime series, and then which didn't make any sense. It felt like a cash grab. And then they
Yeah.
had, later on season 2, but I was just like, but I could see them going more towards movies. Like it, I was waiting for years. I'm an Evangelion fan. Did you ever watch Neon Genesis
Yes.
Evangelion?
Yes.
Oh, I remember every 2 or 3 years we would get, 1.1, 2.2, 3.3. And I was waiting for, what do they call it? Like 1.1 plus 3.3, whatever the hell it is. The fourth movie that just came out.
Hmm.
I waited almost like 8 years for it. And it was so damn good. But it sucks. They did
Okay.
on Amazon Prime. I would have paid money to see that in the theaters.
Yeah. It would been great to see it, and I know One Piece is coming out with a movie, and I wonder if they're gonna release it in theaters.
Oh, they would. They'll make a ton of money with how popular One
Yeah.
Piece is.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the live action movies, like the Netflix deals? Like, those are trash.
They are yeah, and they pick, in my opinion, the wrong properties. If you are gonna do anime, you pick stuff that's gonna be really hard to translate into live action, and One Piece is definitely something that's going to translate badly into live action, because 'cause you're gonna have to really pour in the
Gonna cost a
CGI.
lot of money. Well, that's another reason why they didn't want to do Kamala Khan, because how much money would that cost for her stretching herself out? You know,
Yeah, but then you could have done it. What are you gonna do with Reed Richards if you do Fantastic Four?
I agree, but
Yeah.
like I liked Cowboy Bebop. It's a hot take. Like a lot of people hate it. Like I looked at it as yes, it's its own standalone universe, and it was just hilarious. It was fun. Sure, it was trash, but I liked it. But then again, Death Note. Death Note, I was hyped
Oh,
about, and I thought I was like, they got Willem Dafoe. It's real. This is gonna be awesome. And I watched it. I'm like, the hell is this shit? This is horrible. Like,
but then again, there's even been some live action Japanese movies
oh,
of
Japanese
anime I
movies
didn't
are
like.
over the top. Like, Renoni, no, was it Kenshin? No,
That's good.
Kenshin
I
movies
like
are all right. Blade of the Immortal, Takashi
uh
Miike, one of my favorite directors. Like the first 20 minutes is like a brutal fight scene where it's black and white. There's so much blood and it was really good. But a lot of it's the Japanese actors are so over the top, you know, with like how they pronounce and like just get hyper into it. So it's
it's
pretty
like
hard.
the Full Metal Alchemist live action movie. It was
I
on
never
Netflix
watched
for
it.
a little bit. My brother was kind of like, this is the kind of movie you could have done with like Hollywood, because most of the characters are based on German characters, except I think one. And he goes, it looked really weird. And then, like, yeah, they were over the top with their acting. And
Oh,
he's
were they
like,
Asian? Because I know
yeah.
technically people don't realize most people in mangas are Asian people, but they just look like white people. The only time you notice is if they're non-white. It's they used to be really stereotypical black people. They'd be super
Hmm.
racist with it. They're getting better, but like
Yeah.
people don't realize they're Asian characters. And it's like, well, no, that's a white character. No, it's an Asian character. It just looks weird when you see a live action of an Asian person that you think is whatever. But like you're saying, like if they did didn't they do a live action Attack on Titan? I
Yeah.
wasn't a fan of it, so.
No, it wasn't as good as the anime. Again, that was another one that's kind of hard to adapt unless you have really good CGI behind it. But yeah, the Full Metal though, I think it was the names for him because he connected the names as being non-Japanese names.
Okay.
So he was kind of like, "What?" But it was like they cut out a lot because they try to squeeze a lot
I hate
into
that.
the
I hate
movie.
when they do that. It's just do a couple arcs. Don't do we're gonna squeeze the whole movie into 1 hour and a half. You're like, you can't. It's gonna be, hi, I'm a character. Here's my powers. Here's the boom, 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 boom. And
It's like Bleach, they did that too. They tried to do the full arc in one movie, and I think it should have been like
I
4
watched it.
movies.
It wasn't because
No,
I
it
just
wasn't
got into
bad.
Bleach. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was could have been better done.
Yeah, I think if they stayed really just focused on certain parts of that first arc and then did more movies with it, because I think I like the casting a lot,
Yep.
but it was kinda like you're squeezing everything in there. It's like you're doing too much at once.
I just shout out to Infamy or Death. Yeah, Claymore's awesome. Like if you like that dark, gritty
Yes.
stuff, it is so good.
I'm
I read
thinking
that
about
years
getting
ago.
I'm thinking about getting the box set because that was one of the ones I read when I started to get back into manga this year, but I
I
did it
tried
all in digital.
I tried to find it because I read it like years and years ago, like when the anime first came out, and I wanted to read more, and the manga wasn't out, so I read scans of it, and I was like, "This is badass," you know. And then when I got back in last year, I was trying to find. You could find like issue 1, 3, 6, 20, but it was so hard, and it's like box set. But now you see them in all the stores, so you can find them. But people don't realize why would you spend $600 with a scalper when you can just wait it out?
So what I'm doing with the One Piece box sets,
How
because
many are there out? 3 or 4 now?
I got the 4th one because that's the newest one.
Okay.
So there's 4. Um, I did go on and pre-order 3 because there's a guy on Twitter I follow who tells you about restocks, and I think in April the first 2 are gonna come back in stock, but I'm not paying like, they had them for, like, $4,000 on eBay, and
People are idiots if you spend that much
I'm
money.
like, "No!" Like, I'm not even paying 400.
Well, the weirdest thing about like from the comic market to the manga market is like with reprints, it's like, you know, third, fourth printing for whatever comic. But like, I love Hellsing. That's one of my favorite, you know.
Yes, mine too.
I have like the single issues, but like halfway through, because they're taking like 6 months to a year to put them out. I'm not going to spend $100, $200 for something that's out of print where I got, you know, the omnibus like those are so nice in the bigger quality. $50, it's okay. So I spent $150. I spent less than that, but it's bigger, nicer quality. And why would you spend that on like 3 books when you can get a whole series? Or same thing when they do the reprints of box sets. Like, it's crazy.
This person asked, "What's the discussion about?" It started with Chainsaw Man,
Everything.
but we're going into everything now.
Sorry,
Everything.
I told you I get sidetracked easy.
That's fine. And then Infamy or Death, the One Piece live action is going to be a total train wreck. Yes, it is. I don't trust Netflix.
Well, the Korean shows are killer. That's about it.
I love, yeah. There's one, Hellbound. I haven't watched it yet.
I
but
did a couple. It seemed all right, but I got wrapped up because I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it's called Extracurricular. The kid is a pimp basically in Korea, but his dad steals all his money and loses it. And the girl, it's cool. It was different. I
Okay.
liked it, and it's like
I
get the action.
I did get the manhwa.
How was it? Or,
I haven't read it yet. It's on the
okay.
pile. But I
Okay.
did get volume 1. It's actually pretty thick for
Yeah, I've seen it. Like, it's almost like one of the omnibus where it's a thick boy.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I heard good things about it.
I'm go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. I scanned through the art. The art's really nice too.
I've slowly picked up a couple manhwas. I did The Breaker because Weebro was reading it and he's like, check it out. It's actually really good. I liked it. I also picked up Solo Leveling, but I haven't had a chance to read it. But I want to try more stuff. But I really got turned off when I first got back into manga was I tried Tower of God or whatever that is.
Oh.
It was trash. I didn't like it. It just reminded me of like Dragon Ball with like medieval, like it was a hot mess. I didn't like it.
It was at the webtoon stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a hit or miss with webtoons. Like I've been reading and I'm not like I used to be a fan of theirs, but the BTS one is really interesting.
Oh, that's cool. I've never actually listened to BTS. I couldn't tell you what any of the people are.
Well, the story has got nothing to do with them.
Oh, okay. So it's just a cash grab, like a comic.
Well, it's pretty much like a supernatural. Like they're fighting demons that are coming through this portal, but they're not even the members. Yeah, they're not even the members. That
sounds kind of cool. No,
it is.
No lie, that sounds kind of cool.
And they're actually not named after the members. They just kind of look like them. But yeah, they're fighting off demons, and this one kid who looks like one of the members, he kind of gets wrapped up into this, helping them defeat these demons that are coming through this portal that he accidentally opened. And it's like, if you could put away BTS, if you're not a BTS or a K-pop fan, just give it a chance. It's actually not bad.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm always open to trying like 1 to 3 volumes. I have the 1 to 3 volume rule. Like, if I really hate it by volume 1, whatever. But like, I got sucked into Zom 100. Like, I really love 1 and 2. 3 was 5. I'm done with the series. Like, it just got too over the top and weird.
Yeah, it kind of like fell. It was. Oh, here it is. 7 Fates. That's the name of the webtoon.
Okay.
But yeah, I got up to 5. I read 5, and I'm like, I think they forgot what they were doing with this story. It's like, I love the comedy aspect of this guy just trying to like survive in the zombie apocalypse and do the things you want to do. And then it suddenly went, okay, now we're going to be Walking Dead.
Well, volume 3 gave me the Negan vibes, and I was like, all right, well, whatever. And then it's like they're on the farm, and it's like they just want to mash a bunch of stuff together and go, well, let's throw zombies in and we'll call it a bucket list. But when you saw the other guy with the bucket list, I'm like, this is too stupid. I'm out.
Yeah, and then he unleashes everything, and I'm like, yeah, you had something good. What happened?
It's because they wanted to. I think it was lazy writing. He's like, all right, we got something cool. It's, oh, here's my anti-bucket list of, just screwing everybody's life up. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, this person has it right.
Total train wreck.
Webtoons, manhwa does not have arcs, right? It has seasons. It's very different from manga. Many a times the story picks up in the second season like God of High School.
Yeah, I read like 30 or 40 of like the, I don't even want to call them chapters, whatever. I just couldn't get into it. It wasn't me.
You know what's a good manhwa, and I saw you picked it up, is The Breaker.
Yeah, I like The Breaker. I haven't read the second one, but like it was really slow build up, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And at the end, I was like, it's pretty badass. I like this.
Yeah, I kind of like said it's like, what if Johnny Lawrence became Daniel's mentor instead of Mr. Miyagi? Because he's more like that rebellious, I don't really give a crap, figure it out yourself, and then he finds himself mentoring him anyhow.
Yeah, I like the teacher better than the kid, but, that's the only thing I don't get is not Korean or whatever, just when are they gonna get away from just, like, we gotta start it off with school kids? It's like, you can have a cool story like, say, Black Lagoon, Claymore, just anything to do with adults. You don't need kids in the story to go, "Ooh, I wanna read it," you know?
Yeah, and it's I think with Hellbound, though, it doesn't focus on really high school
I
kids.
watched a couple episodes of the Netflix show. It wasn't high school. It was like, they had a high school girl, but, like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But, let's see. Have you all watched Perfect Blue or Monster? I haven't watched the anime of Monster. I've just started collecting the, omnibuses of Monster. I don't think I've seen Perfect Blue.
Neither, and everyone says Monster's good. It's on my list, but I have so much stuff I'm backlogged with,
I know.
and, a bunch of people are saying certain issues of Monster, I think volume 8 was, like, super hard to get at one point.
Yeah, it was like, with 20th Century Boys, I had a hard time getting
Yeah, it was
2.
supposed to be hard, yeah.
I finally got 2, but yeah, it's been kind of hard. Storm Riders.
Storm
Don't know what
Riders,
that is.
never heard that.
No, I haven't heard that. Oh, really? I'm hoping the One Piece box sets would reprint. I brought the 4th and I got up to 98, but anything before 70. Yeah, I know. It's like you look on Right Stuff, it's like a certain amount is in stock, and then like a whole bunch of the next part is not in stock. It drives me nuts. So I just
That's
read it on the app.
that's why I jumped on the Bleach box set when I saw it in the wild. I was like, "I wanna check it out," and it's so hard to find anything. Like, I've seen, like, the 3-in-1s where it's like 70, 80, whatever. You're like, "Damn, that's" but you figure, like, most series you can get, like, 1 through 5, and then if it's a longer running series over 100, it's like, well, where's, 20, where's 40, where's 50?
That's kind of like with like Black Clover's getting to be
How is
long,
that?
or
I've never checked it out.
I
The
I
premise sounds cool.
it is. It's kind of like Naruto in medieval times.
See, I like that. I like
Yeah.
the high fantasy type of thing.
And I do like it. It's just I've been reading it on the app, getting the physical copies. I'm waiting to see if they do a box set.
Okay.
They probably will. It's so popular. I'm like hoping they have a box set because there's so many. I think it's up into the 30s already, and I don't think it is ending anytime soon.
Well, see, that's what killed me. It's Demon Slayer. I was buying them singly. Should have waited because, like, when they first come out, there was a hell of a deal, like on Right Stuff and even Amazon. Like, it was like $120 for the box set.
Yeah,
That's like 20 something manga that are 10 to 12.99 a piece. That's a hell of a deal.
yeah. I did the box set too. I was like, I read it on the app, and then I'm like, yeah, I'll get the box set. I think box sets sometimes are better. The one time I find they're not is like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
You get the box set and you add it up, it's the same. It's cheaper to get the individual.
Well, also, if you realize, like, I got mine at Barnes& and Noble before my discount ran out. But I mean, if you can find them at Right Stuff or like Kinokuniya or somewhere that has them on sale, I'd say do it.
Yeah, I'm always looking for the sales. That's why that Target sale I was so happy about when I was in the store.
Oh yeah, when it
But
was the buy two get one, I just went nuts with it.
yeah, unfortunately my Target doesn't have a big manga section.
Well, I've noticed it's so because I remember Walmart, I've seen one or two, but like Target, they've slowly been creeping up. Like, because I go to a bunch of different Targets whenever I'm near them, just to go shopping and check around stuff. But like, it goes from like little to bigger to big. But it also depends on where you live with your location. If you're more urban area, probably more
Mhm.
stuff. If it's more rural, probably not as much.
Well, I've noticed my Barnes& and Noble is starting to grow. Like, it just started where it only had, like, a U-shape area of manga,
Yep.
and then suddenly they moved it also onto the other side of that U-shape, and I'm like, "It'll be up on the wall next," just wrapped around. So, it is growing at my Barnes& and Noble.
If I was smart, one of the ones usually leaving work or my union hall, like, it's right off
Mhm.
the highway, it's near a mall. I walked in one day, I'm like, "Where's all the manga?" And I was like, "Maybe this manga shortage shit's real." They were transferring because 'cause they're moving to a different location, but I wanted to take a video of just, like, the manga section, be like, "It's real, guys, you can't get anything."
I think the only place it did affect was, like, my comic book store, because my comic book store does have a big manga section,
Oh, it's
and then I
cool.
walked in there one day and they had, like, just, like, a little shelf. I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "I'm having a hard time getting my volumes."
Oh, yeah, when I first got back in, like, 2 or 3 months, like, I wanted to because I checked out the anime for Dorohedoro, and, like, the last issue and, like, 2 or 3 random volumes, it took me months to get, but I got them. But, like, you have to be persistent, like, constantly checking to see what you need, you know?
Yeah. What is this now?
Parasite's great. by the way.
Yeah, I love Parasite. I think I saw the. It's been a while, but I think I saw the anime too.
Yeah, the anime was pretty decent.
Yeah, same here. I got the box set of Demon Slayer, but Attack on Titan, I'm reading the Colossal editions, but I have bought 12 regular volumes before I found out about the Colossal editions. The only thing I'm worried about with the Colossal editions is those binders don't look sturdy. They're so thick, and they're not hardcovers.
Okay.
I was like looking at them, and I was like, is this going to like
It sounds like the
tear?
glue will probably like snap on it. Like
Yeah.
with my Berserk and Helsings, it sucks doing it, but for like the 10 minutes where you get to wiggle the pages around. Because if not, though, like when you open it, you can hear it just go, and sooner or later it'll just
Oh.
crack their spine in it, you know?
Oh wow. Yeah. No. Oh, Yule. Hey, Yule. Viz looks better right now. Yeah, it does. Go on the Shonen Jump app. It's great.
Try it for the free trial, and like for the $1.99, you can find something that you're gonna like.
Yeah,
You can read only 100 volumes a day, but who the hell's reading 100 volumes? Like,
yeah, I know. It's like you can if you want to, but
that's a lot. That's a
it's
long
a
sitting
lot.
session.
I think the only time I was getting into it, I was home because of the thing,
Yep.
and I just did like a binge of like One Piece chapters
Well, that
on
was like
there.
me when it first started, and I got furloughed from my other job.
Hmm.
I actually, because I have the Walking Dead, the omnibus that they put out. I binged through that. I binged through Berserk when I was laid off for a little while. I went because I was slowly just reading them when they came in, but I was just like, screw this, I want to know, and like I read it, I'm like, but now I gotta wait to finish my collection to make it because I'm weird. It's like I don't know about you. I like having all the same, like they were saying about the Colossal edition. It's like, would you want the regular like Tankobon size? Or you want the bigger one?
Right, and they have also an omnibus, which is weird. They have like an omnibus, and then they have the Colossal edition.
And I know they have a couple variants out, and I know in Japan they did like this crazy huge one. I wanted to get that just because I like different stuff, but it was really cool looking.
Yeah, yeah. DC has
I haven't checked
one
that out.
Operation Jackamanga. I did the review in the Deadpool. I did not like the
Deadpool was
Deadpool.
trash. I hated it.
I think if you're not a Deadpool or
I'm a
familiar
Deadpool
with the
fan.
character,
I love him.
yeah, I think if you're not like familiar with it, you might enjoy it. But I was just like, this is no. And then Captain America recruiting him, he would
He was
never
an
recruit
idiot.
him. Yeah, like he shows up for the party. I'm like,
Which was awkward. It's
yeah,
because Captain America is actually really badass, but a lot of people just think he's dorky. He's like, "Hi guys," and that's what they made him out to be.
yeah. I was just like, no.
I think the Deadpool manga, whenever they have besides Thanos, when they have All Might in it, I think that's when it's gonna blow up, and all the My Hero fans are gonna be like, "Oh, this is so great!" But I think what
Yeah,
Marvel's hoping to do is, besides capitalize on that, they want more people to trickle into their reading. But it's like people aren't really gonna read comics because they don't like. Where are you gonna start with Deadpool? I would say New Mutants '98, but who knows that? It's like what kind of weird obscure knowledge, or are you gonna get X Force 2, which is second appearance, or then that Deadpool was actually changed from an assassin, like the slapstick to this to that. Like,
yeah. Because when it starts off, it's not the Deadpool everybody knows from the
no.
movies.
Yep.
It is not that Deadpool. Um, but yeah, I don't see how because I rather read manga than read the comic books. And for them to want to jump into it, like you said, and most of those, if they're looking just for the issues, how much of those are going for?
Oh yeah, like
It's
I think years ago when I sold my New Mutants, I got like $400 for it. And when the movies came out, it's probably about $1,000, like decent, very fine. You could probably get for like 100, $200, but it's too much money.
yeah, it's too much. And then I mean, you could probably do graphic novels, but I think I do. That's what I mostly do with indie comics is graphic novels.
Yep. Well, when I was really into comics, I would, like I said, I would buy them back in boredom if I didn't read it. Then I would buy them on Comixology, or if I didn't get around to it, if I really liked the creative team, I would also buy, the trades for it.
Yeah. And I think this the Joker manga where Batman suddenly gets turned into a baby and he has to raise him. I think that's this one.
That
Yeah.
sounds stupid. Did you watch Batman Samurai? I hated it.
Oh no, I
That
didn't
was
watch that
bad.
one. I watched The Killing Joke and I wanted to
That was
throw
good.
something at my. You like that?
It was, I mean, it could have been worse. Like I've seen worse. Like Batman Ninja was trash. I
Yeah.
wish they would do more stuff like The Last Night was really good.
I haven't watched that one yet.
No, 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 I'm saying for the comic series,
Oh,
Last
the
Night.
comic. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
didn't.
good. And
Yeah,
who's did you read any of the Sean Murphy stuff that he did with his own
The White
Batman
Knight,
spin-off? Yeah, so good. Oh my god, I love
it's coming
those.
back.
Oh, is it? Because I know they did a couple spin-offs. The last one I got was like they had the Mr. Freeze one, the Harley Quinn one.
Yeah, the Black Labels are
Did they
probably
stop Black Label or not?
I don't think so.
Because I like the oversized editions, and it was cool stuff. Like it was better than
Yeah,
the
I know
regular trash they put out.
they're bringing back more White Knight.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's like one of the few things I think I pick up. The other one I am picking up because Wes got me into it is Super Sons.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
which
it's
this is
Damien,
before.
and
Yeah,
is it
which is
before he was aged up or no?
yeah, it's
Okay.
before, and it's about them teaming up, and it's actually really good. Peter Tomasi writes it, and it's really good. But I'm not really interested in the aged up version.
Do you know how many people come into like my video from 6 months ago like Superman is gay? I'm like, first of all, it's bisexual, it's his kid, get over it.
Yeah,
But like they get all mad. I'm like, well, if you're gonna bitch about it, bitch about the right things.
I know, and that's my problem is the story. It's 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 only about that, and you're kind of like, can he do something super heroic?
That's another reason why I love comics. Like we were talking about earlier, it's they've changed something, or like when they try to make new characters, it doesn't work. You know, it's weird. It's like a double standard. Like we say, make new characters for us, and people that like them, they're like, we're shit canning it. Oh, but you like this character? Here's 5 different versions of them, and if you don't like them, you're a piece of crap.
Yeah, it's like you're not giving anything a chance, and you're like, but this is not what I asked for.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they do the opposite of what people want. They're like, we want like we want more of Agent of Atlas. Oh, we canceled that. Here's some more Kamala Khan. And you're like, no, that's not what I said.
Well, see, like if I had my choice between Kamala Khan or like uh not Riri,
Oh, I don't like
what's
that one.
Moon Knight and not Moon Knight, I can't
Oh,
I'm
Moon Girl and
yeah, Moon
that
Girl. Oops, sorry. Mental
that's
blank.
okay.
Yeah. It's a fun story. Like Moon Girl's fun. And Devil
I
Dinosaur,
ha-
like it's fun.
I'll be honest, I haven't read those, but I miss Agent of Atlas because there was so much potential there.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then they left it off, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be really interesting." And then it's like they canceled it. It's like, why? Batman Wayne Family Adventures rocking on Webtoon.
I heard they were doing something like that. Like,
I think it's comedic, like they're just like their day-to-day life living in the mansion. I'm not sure, I could be wrong.
yeah, but isn't that basically the only thing that's keeping DC like afloat right now is just Batman?
Yeah.
Because after what was it, issue the one with like the designer and all that, I got into it for a little while and I was just like, I was out. Because they
Yeah.
brought what's Jim Lee's character? Grifter and a couple other people, and I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, and then Tom King didn't help the situation.
Yo, straight up fuck Tom King. I don't like his writing. I think he sucks.
Yeah,
I
no.
tried. I couldn't get behind it.
No. And I heard he's doing worse things now with another comic, and it has to do with the Green Lantern. He's dismantled. So
Was it Tom King though that did that really good run in Mr. Miracle? Was that
I don't
him
know.
or whoever did like the last Mr. Miracle run that I read was really good, but I wonder. But as Batman, I hated Batman. I couldn't get behind
Oh,
it.
you know. King of Spies and the Magic Order is good. I want to read the Magic Order.
Magic Order. Oh, is that the Image thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I have them somewhere, but I haven't read it because I was buying someone. Yeah, the Mr. Miracle Tom King run though, that was really, really good.
Okay. I haven't read that one. Like I said, it's been a while. I kind of like got annoyed, and I think it was like I started to get annoyed with the whole Captain America becoming Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
I literally read that and threw it in the trash outside my comic book store. And somebody was like, "You didn't like that?" I'm like, "No."
See, during all that axis of what it was, axis of powers, axis of allies, or whatever, like the bad guys turn good. The Carnage run that they did where he was trying to be a good guy for like the 3 issues and like killed someone. He's like, sorry. I was like, this is hilarious, but you're never gonna
And then
get something like that
it
again.
was kind of weird though at Loki because he was already trying to be a good guy when they did this, but then they made him like he was so good he was arrogant, so it was like he was still a villain.
Yeah. Speaking of, I like the Loki TV show. That was one of the few things on Disney Plus. Like I paid for 2 years of it because they're promising. I know the pandemic happened, but
Yeah.
I stopped. My brother still pays for it, but I'm like, he's like, did you watch that? I'm like, nah, I don't even care anymore. Done with giving Disney my money.
I didn't mind the Hawkeye show.
I didn't watch it. It just seemed too. I don't care about Hawkeye, and I don't care about the Winter Soldier. It just seemed boring to me.
Well, like, they did a better development with Kate Bishop in that than it was in the comics. Like,
Okay.
she actually looks up to Hawkeye, and there
Oh,
was a
Hawkeye. I'm
whole
sorry. I'm thinking of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't wanna even get into that. I watched that, and I was disappointed because I love Bucky.
I knew I was
Best
just.
picture.
I did. I think I had 2 episodes left of Hawkeye, but I was like, take it or leave it. It just, yeah, wasn't bad or
I
good.
think I think they did better with Kate in the show than they did in the comics. I
Well, they
kinda like
also
how sh
they got to change people around a little bit to actually get characters like American Chavez in the Mouth of Madness or whatever they call Doctor Strange. They have to make her more likable. No one
Yeah.
wants like a
The
jerk.
the the only time I, like, tolerated her was in the Young Avenger run, but that's because Loki was always putting her in her place.
Well, speaking of variants and stuff, what was her first appearance? I bought like 5 of them for cheap money because I like Nick Dragotta and I like the art on it, so I had them signed. But like I sold one a couple months ago for like $600. Like, but people are so weird paying for it. I'm like, it's a first appearance, but they're basing it on TV shows or like cartoon shows. It's like, why is that going to make it? And it's going to be a flash in the pan, and no one's going to care about it.
Exactly. Yeah, I they have to make characters like I read the Riri Williams run, and I was just like, "I don't like her."
I didn't like Riri. I thought she was very arrogant, even though she's a super smart little girl. It's just, but I
Yeah,
think
and
they'll
the
probably try to replace her with like Iron Man, and they'll probably shoehorn it in with like Black Panther too. I bet you any amount of money.
she's already been cast for Black Panther too.
Oh, she has? Okay. See, I stopped paying attention for.
Yeah, she's been cast for that, and I don't know how they're gonna pull off Black Panther without Black Panther.
Well, I've heard people talk about they could bring Killmonger back. I enjoy Killmonger,
Yeah,
and I also liked What If. Like some of the What Ifs were bad, some were good, but I think Shuri would also be great too if she was actually Black Panther, like they did in the comics.
yeah, and I don't know, there's been, like I think there's, like, a movement to get her removed for some reason.
So,
You know, cancel culture.
I don't. I look at it like this, and I say it like I think starting next month, I'm gonna have a podcast with some of my buddies. We're gonna say horrible, outlandish shit, but guess what? It's you can't be canceled if you don't pay attention to it, and you're not really trying to hurt anyone's feelings. That someone didn't like your take of something. Why would
Exactly.
you cancel someone and ruin their lives? Like that's so stupid. I don't get that shit. Like it's dumb.
It's kinda like what I was saying before with the Berserker thing. It's like people get offended about something, and they want it changed for them, but they don't think about everybody else. It's like they want to cancel the Berserker manga because they didn't like that one panel, and they think it's this, so we need to remove it, but no, there's people who like it who actually read it and understand it. It's kinda like with this whole cancel culture, like, we understood what she was really getting at, and yeah, you don't have to agree with her, but that doesn't mean you need to end her career.
Yeah, but it's. I think it's finally starting to slowly go away. You've noticed, like they tried canceling Dave Chappelle. They tried canceling Rogan. I don't say either way how I like I actually like both of them, but I mean it's for stupid shit, and it's like, but people like me and someone else at work were joking. It's you could be a murderer or do other horrible adult things to people, and no one cares. It's like how are these people not canceled when they ruin lives, but someone makes a comment or something you don't like, as long as it's not maliciously hurting someone, it doesn't make
Yeah,
sense to me.
people have their rights to their opinion. I don't have to agree with them, but if it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, I don't judge people. Like, there's a lot of things I don't agree with, like in different communities. But guess what? If you're not hurting nobody, it's your choice. It's your life. Live it and do whatever the hell you want. Who cares?
And I think was it Rob Liefeld just wrote the perfect tweet on Twitter the other day, and I copied it, where he was talking about like books. Like if I pull a book off a shelf and I don't like it, I put it back. I don't ask them to cancel it out.
Oh yeah, like when they were doing Mouse and other stuff like that. That was crazy.
I said, "Do you understand the contents of that story? You're taking it completely like in the wrong direction." I've read it, and I'm like,
I've never read it,
it's
but I know the premise of it. It's basically World War II with
right,
Jews in
the
Nazi
Holocaust.
Germany, where yeah, but people, it's like they want to forget that happened. It's like it's life. It happens. Like, but people want to whitewash and think everything's happy and funny, and it's like real life sucks. That's why we have other mediums like, manga, comics, TV, video games. It's an escape.
And that's why this stuff that has been bending the knee as people use to things is failing.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
I won't spend the money on it, and like I speak with my wallet. I'm very vocal if I like something or not. I'll give something a try and then go, that sucks. Yeah, it's not for me.
yeah. Lakshay writes, a person claimed some time ago that he was so depressed about a tweet that he accidentally fell from the stairs and accused the Twitter handler. Yeah, that pretty much sums up Twitter.
I used to have Twitter back in the day when like G4 before G4 is this new crap, but like
Yeah,
when Twitter was new and there was like less than 100,000 people, and it just became such a cesspool. I can't deal with that. I don't do Facebook. Like I can't.
I know. I have it mainly for promotion.
Yeah, I won't ever touch Facebook. The only reason why I got back on Facebook was for my Oculus, and I'm like, I don't have enough room in my house downstairs for it, so I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. But for a little while, I was doing it, just going down the rabbit hole. I'm like, this is what you people think and feel. That's cool, but I don't care.
Oh god, I sometimes I open up Twitter and I go, why did I
I
do this
can't.
today?
I follow a couple of people that I enjoy and interact with, but like I said, it's for just useless self promotion. But like, I'm not one of those type of happy. I'm not a happy person, but I don't want to read politics or anything like that. Like, just keep your shit out. I
I
don't want to
know.
see it. Do your thing. I'm independent. I like what I like, and you know what? You like your stuff. Cool. We can get along. It's just you don't need to cram it down my throat.
Yeah, and I think that's like I had to walk away from Twitter for a while. Like I had to take a break for a week because it was like, my God, people, do you hear what you're saying or tweeting in this? It's like if you said this in person.
Well, I think that people feel like keyboard warriors and they feel safe behind it. And if someone were to call you out for it, you'd be like, I didn't say that, or like, I'm sorry, man. But online, they're like, well, fuck you too. I'm right and you're wrong. It's like this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and then the screenshotting everybody's tweets and going back and forth, and it's like,
But guess what? You can Photoshop that anyways. Like,
yeah, I know. It's just it gets crazy. Twitter used to have real fun and a
it
lot of jokes.
was,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It used to be
But
like
now
memes or
it's
just getting in touch with people. Now it's just shit talking.
yeah, and it's like comics. It's like it's gone to crap.
Oh yeah, Comicsgate. That's when like I started just turning out, going, I don't care anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I want to deal with this bullshit.
So, what time
Sorry,
is
yeah,
it?
Chainsaw Man.
I know.
We went down a
Well,
deep rabbit hole, and it's been
I
like what,
we
2 hours.
did.
I'm so
I
sorry.
should have just said Chainsaw Man and more. But
I'm
it's a
so
good
sorry.
talk. I mean, it is. It's like, you know.
Well, the funny part is a lot of people don't really do comics like you do too. It's just like they always want to talk about anime or manga, which I don't mind talking about, but I was primarily from comics and I still pay attention. So I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. And it's like it's the reason I moved into more manga and indie comics because it's frustrating because you love the characters, but you don't like what's being done with the characters. Because you
And
have
with sorry,
no, go
with
ahead.
indie, if they want to destroy and smash the character around, that's fine because it wasn't someone else like a different creator team or writer or suit selling. Okay, you need to do this or listening to Twitter. It's well, I want to change the character's powers from this, or I want to give him a sex change or change. That's fine. I don't mind that. But I don't like the companies of like, oh, you got to do this. I hate that.
It's like these characters have a legacy and people know these characters for that legacy. And then you come along and you're just like, I'm going to change everything because this is what I think that person should be. And then everybody goes, no, but that's something that character would never do. And they're like, you're just a hater. Don't read it then. And you're like, okay, I'll go read manga.
Yeah. And people don't realize it's so open, like we were saying earlier. There's something for everybody. Doesn't matter. Pick a random thing. Like I could type in a string of words and find a manga for it.
Yeah. And I'm happy to see some people like this morning. I got tweeted by one of my followers saying, doing a screenshot that he signed up for Shonen Jump.
It's
He's
nice.
like, I did it. I'm like, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to
Well,
love it.
the funny thing is, I forget I have it half the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's $1.99. It's cheaper than Netflix. It's cheaper than buying a Mac. But sometimes if I'm bored at work or I'm somewhere, like, you're just killing time. The only thing I wish, my only pet peeve about it is, I mean, it's not a bad service. I just wish it was like Comixology where it would let you zoom in or go panel to panel. That's my only issue.
Yeah.
Because I
You
got a
kind of,
really big phone, but still, it sucks when you try to zoom and then you have to move it. It's kind of
yeah,
clunky.
they do full pages and it's like,
Yeah.
you got to go out. Okay. So I really enjoyed this talk.
Well,
I know
thank you.
we
I
got off
appreciate it.
I know we got off topic, but I would like to collab again sometime in the future.
Oh, definitely. I'm down for it. And with my podcast that's coming out at some point, definitely want you on. It was a fun time.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Go read Chainsaw Man. I know we got off topic, but it is a great manga. Check out Hartless Weeb. He is on Instagram and he is on YouTube. I have his information down below.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm on everything as Hartless Weeb, except I don't use my TikTok. Like, that's a cesspool too. I don't want to go. That's even worse
than
than
Twitter. I didn't even sign up for that.
Stay away. We're too old for it.
Yeah, no. But this was a good talk, and I hope to collab again, and I will see you next time, guys. Have a good day. Bye.